Hey Gemini, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this one, go check your other major placements, and we're not doing any extendeds this week. So I've already shuffled thoroughly, cutting the deck, and overall for the reading is Nine of Pentacles. Woohoo! Success. Success, real world success. So much. Look at all that abundance. Look at all that money. Cha-ching. Lots of abundance coming in here. Very successful. A lot of work has been put into something and you get there. You achieve it. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay. All right. There's a lot of yellow here, a lot of sort of inspiration or creativity too. We have in the recent past Tower. Something has gone very topsy-turvy, unexpected, unusual, maybe a little bit of a maze here. The whole house has been turned upside down. Yeah, something, Tower, something really, it's generally pretty dramatic. And it is about, your life being sort of turned upside down, very different. You might have gone through something. You might have gone through something difficult, but it also might have been, it doesn't necessarily have to be difficult, but it can just be just a discombobulating experience where the structure of your life looks very different, almost a little bit suddenly usually. So the structure of your life just looking really different. So that's your recent past. In your current situation, you have a person, a Page of Swords. So the pages are going to be our students. The pages are going to be learning something. A Page of Swords is someone who, it's literally studentness. It's literally studentiness, learning something, reading, writing, writing papers, learning something. This could be someone learning how to communicate something, trying to figure something out, trying to understand something. It has to do with the swords. It can be very rational. But this is someone, they don't have a strong handle on being rational or on the logic of a situation. They're in the process of figuring something out. So they may be journaling, they may be, there's a lot of thinking, possibly a lot of overthinking, but that's all part of the process of learning something. So there's someone who's learning something. It's usually pretty in the head learning stuff and not necessarily like learning how to, fix a transmission. It's more like reading about cars and thinking about them. And so there could be some reading and writing elements here, but someone's trying to figure out how they think about something, figure out how to communicate about something. Both of those, right, go into being a student. You're both learning, reading up, reading you're working on the reading list, and you're also regurgitating in papers and that kind of thing. So someone's learning here about new ideas and how to communicate them. So that could be you, or that could be someone else in the situation. Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. We have Seven of Wands, making space for something to grow, making space for something to grow. Hoping to make space for growth. Make room for growth. There's a bit of a struggle here. There's a bit of a fight for this growth. There's competition for this growth, possibly. And this is like making space for something. So that's your hope. Either that space is made for you, or that you can create the time. Maybe you need to study for something and you're not sure how to create the time to do that. Maybe you need to do some book work. And there's a hope and a fear that you're not going to be able to make the space to do that. There's always this sense of competition or having to push something out of the way to make space for the new thing to grow, having to weed your garden so that this thing can come up. and making room for something, fighting for some sort of inspired activity. You might have a lot of schoolwork and also a very creative endeavor, and you're worried that you're not going to be able to make time for that creative endeavor. You're hopeful that you'll be able to make time for that creative endeavor. So there's a hope that there's going to be space for something to come in. What's at issue here is King of Swords in the reverse. So we already have the Page of Swords. This is someone in leadership who's got some communication issues. There could be some unfairness. The king's supposed to be quite fair, able to see both sides, able to... we've got the whole like family of swords here. There's like the king, queen, and the page. We're just missing the knight of swords. But we've got a family of swords here, a very rational situation. This king could be out of balance. This king could be trying. This is probably a person, and they might be trying to be like the king is supposed to be. Ideally, the king is balancing rationality with passion. They can see both sides of the story. They're being very fair, very balanced. This king is not. This is a person who is imbalanced, experiencing some sort of imbalance here, is not able to create harmony between their head and their heart. They're not able to see both sides of the story. There's an imbalance. They've swung one way or another way. If this is the same person as the Page of Swords, we've got someone who's trying to be very rational, overly thinking something, and isn't taking into account anything else. This could also be someone in leadership who's like not communicating very fairly. They're not able to see other people's points of view. They're not being fair. I mean, and there's a sense of like they could be like overly literal. Someone who's being just overly literal about everything, and not really catching on to nuance or catching on to variables or how a situation. They could be being very judgmental. It could be someone who's being very judgmental and not really taking into account sort of extenuating circumstances or how a situation can be shifted by extenuating circumstances. Because the King of Swords in the upright should be able to handle some extenuating circumstances. Okay, well that I understand, how it's got a judge, but it's like a crappy judge. It's like a crappy judge with no life experience who's just being really judgmental. And it's like, well, you disobeyed those rules. Well, there were all these other circumstances, and it seemed like the highest good could be served by disobeying these rules. Well, I don't give a crap. You were supposed to do what I told you to do exactly and nothing else, and you did the wrong thing. So not realizing, that there's all these variables going on all the time. So that's what's at issue here, is someone sort of maybe in a position of power that's being judgmental or not able to really see a bunch of nuance. In your environment, we have 8 of Cups. We have 8 of Cups is like dissatisfaction. There's sadness, there's grief, there's being weighed down by something. And she's thinking about taking off this crown. It's a little too heavy. So there's, 8 of Cups. There's this heaviness here. There's sadness, there's discontent, there's grief. This is something in your environment. I mean, maybe you're being like overly judgmental. This King of Swords could be you in some kind of imbalanced, judgmental state. Because something around you, someone's not happy with a situation. Someone's not happy with the situation, and they're wondering if there's better. And they're wondering if there's better. I mean, overall, we're having this like 9 of Pentacles. Maybe this is your quest for success, reaching for success. But 8 of Cups means that the situation itself could just not be desirable, could just not be what you want. And you're wondering if there's a better reality for you. This 9 of Cups is saying yes, but your environment is either giving you signals that you're not where you want to be, and that there's someplace better to be, or there's someone in your environment who's dissatisfied with the situation and is contemplating a move, putting down this like heavy crown and going someplace better, looking for someplace better. They're thinking about their situation and not 100% sure that this is what they want to carry. So this could be you, or this could be someone else. This could be something in your environment. So this is the environment. So it's either another person in your situation that's experiencing these emotions, or there's something in your environment that you're realizing is not satisfactory. Your to-do list, King of Pentacles. Reap some rewards. The King of Pentacles, hold on to secure, feeling secure. Taking leadership from a very secure place. I mean, the King of Pentacles is so steady and so reliable and so confident and secure, right? He has what he has, and he's very secure in that. So there's just a sense of grounded security here. That's what you're looking to do. And if you need to initiate something or move towards something, that's the space you want to be in before you head out into the world. You want to be very grounded. You want to be very secure. You want to understand. There's a sense of understanding, accounting for your worth, understanding your worth, understanding your value, and moving from that space and initiating from that space, leading from that space of high self-worth, not ego, not some sort of self-definition, but a sense of your worth, a sense of your value, and being very grounded in that as you move forward, and bringing that with you. Moving forward. That's your job. Easy task, should be done in about 5 minutes. Sounds good. And then where you're headed, possible outcome, we have the Queen of Swords. So this is someone that you may be interacting with, someone that you meet, someone that you know. This could also be you. It's really, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but look at all this yellow. There's just a lot of yellow, which would be our solar plexus chakra. So much yellow. Anyway, and then it's interesting because I thought like the swords were all yellow, but then we've got this yellow King of Pentacles here. So your job is to be the King of Pentacles, and then we've got the Queen of Swords. This person communicates. The queens are more internally focused. They're less initiative, less action-oriented out in the real world. These kings are going to be action-oriented in the real world. But the Queen of Swords is going to be very internal. This Queen of Swords, she's taken the shit she's going to take, and she knows what she thinks. She knows what she wants. She's very clear. This could be someone with some really clear communication, and they may just communicate. This is a person, and this might be you. This might be somebody else. They're not going to soft pedal crap. They might end up being very direct because they just don't have time for anything else, or they just don't feel like doing anything else. They're not going to pussyfoot around. They're not going to couch things in terms that, for a 5-year-old, they're just going to give it to you straight. So I love the Queen of Swords. She can be a little bit harsh, a little bit sharp, but she also is very aware of her own mind, of her own thoughts. So this could be this Queen of Swords. They could be over here trying to figure out what they think, what they feel. And when they know what they think and when they know what they feel, you'll be able to hear it, and it's going to be a little bit sharp. I think that's why you need to have your self-confidence like packed up and with you and on you, and your sense of security and your sense of self, and this grounded King of Pentacles energy. Because if you're going to be meeting up with a Queen of Swords, male or female, a Queen of Swords, someone who really knows what they think, and communicates it very clearly, they can be a little blunt. It can be a little sharp. So you're going to want your self-confidence fully packed and ready to go in order to receive that message, if you indeed do want to receive it. So, all right, Gemini. So that sounds like some, I don't know, this is all on the path to success, though. This is all, you've already had some successes. This is all on the path. There's been something this is all on the path to success. There's been some topsy-turvy energy, some upheaval here. Someone's trying to figure out something, what they think, how to communicate. You're worried about there not being space or time for something. Somebody's been a little bit judgmental, maybe a bit unfair. The current situation isn't satisfactory. The current environment, there's some dissatisfaction. Someone's going to let you know, and you need to sort of just feel very secure and grounded as you go into the future here. So overall, that's where we're going. So thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, Gemini. I very much appreciate them, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.